From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big night of evenings at LALATE as we're back. $1,400 third stimulus checks continue to land in bank accounts by direct deposit today, and more could land tomorrow. Meantime, help is here. That's the message from the White House as a roadshow starts across the country, selling your $1,400 third stimulus check and telling millions of Americans what is in the stimulus package. Meantime, the 10-year Treasury seems relatively calm. Stocks were making move today amid changing economic conditions, and those change of economic conditions could be dramatic for many years to come. Meantime, one of your favorites is back. Toys R Us is coming back to America. But when would forced stimulus be coming back as well? I have all those details as people await the arrival of your $14 stimulus check. I'll be telling you when, where, and how you could see that land in your bank account, whether you are on direct deposit or direct express. The big exciting news of evenings LA goes into the sunset and starts right now. More Americans start to see their $1,400 third stimulus check land in their bank account today. But if you did not see it land today, when are you next? And are you that March 17th date? And is the fourth stimulus check dependent upon a March 17th deadline or not? I have all the details for you. How are you? Welcome back to Evenings LA. Wow. Thank you for making last night's return of your favorite show from 2020 a jaw-dropping, massive hit. I'm loving it. You loved it. It's a tape show with a live chat. I was in the live chat with you, and I'll be in the live chat for this show as well again tonight. It's every night now at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And right after the show is Hazard Pay at 7 o'clock on the West Coast and 10 o'clock on the East Coast. If you've not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're having a lot of fun. We're on fire. This channel continues to grow, and as the more you grow with it, the more money you're going to get. This is the channel that gets you a lot of money. In addition to a $14 stimulus check, you're going to get $5,000 to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 of additional money in this stimulus package, and I can get you a lot more money under the second stimulus as well. So don't leave once you get a stimulus check, because there's a lot more money available for you as well. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link is at the top of this chat. It's also in the pinned description to this video. So many details hitting across the board. Let's get right to the $1,400 third stimulus check. When, where, how, and what's going on. These are the details. The $14 stimulus check was sent out last Friday. It was one push from IRS. It's not being held, it's not being holed up, it's not being sent out in waves. Rather, it was one electronic disbursement on Friday to all millions of Americans who qualify for direct deposit. Is that you? More about that in a second. The one single push of the direct deposit includes people on Direct Express or any electronic receipt, including a debit card system they may have with their online tax preparing company. Now, the next wave of stimulus check pushes, the second wave, will be paper checks, and IRS now confirms that will be very shortly. I have the details of when in just a second. And finally, the third wave will be debit cards. Under the second stimulus package, all 85 to 95% of the American households that qualify for a stimulus check got it within the first 3 weeks of it becoming law. So if you're wondering when paper checks may get it and when debit card may get it after this first wave, when is the second and third wave, it would likely be starting the end of this week into next week, and then the third week. So you're gonna everyone on this channel is gonna get their stimulus check by the 3 weeks starting from last week. But let's now go to my direct deposit people. Who are they, and are they you? They likely are you. It's one of three groups of people. First, it would be you if you receive your benefits monthly by direct deposit. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security or Railroad benefits, and you receive your deposits by direct deposit, this is you. It includes whether you receive directly into a bank account or directly into a direct express. It also includes people who receive things onto a debit card or a similar instrument like this. The next group is the people who receive their first or second stimulus by direct deposit. And there has been no change in your life, so you're going to get this one as well. This includes people who receive it into a checking account, into a savings account, or into a card provided by some of the online tax preparers. These people would be receiving the direct deposit as well. It also includes people who receive it by an app, like an online financial app called FinBanks or similar like to that. Finally, the third group that will receive it by direct deposit, potentially, but not confirmed, are people who filed their 2020 tax return and they filed it early in February and it shows processed. It does not include people who filed their 2020 tax return and it shows pending, because now it's too late. So what happens if you were one group and now you're another group? That's a subject I haven't covered in a couple days, so let me go over it right now. If you once had a checking account and now it's closed, what's going to happen? IRS will attempt that electronic deposit, it will fail, and then they will go to paper check. Is there any way to change or update the account? At this time, there is not. Is there any way to tell IRS, oh, the account is here and there and something has changed? No, absolutely no way to do it. The way they will fix things is doing things by paper check. Now, what happens if you have changed your address, you have changed your bank account, and IRS may simply not know where you are? This may be a situation for what's coming up later in this video, which is the fix-it situation. All right, now let's go to the date of the check. The checks were sent out on Friday. Despite that, there has been a lot of fake narratives. Among the fake narratives are the following tales. I'm going to tell you each of them and tell you if it's true or false. First, stimulus checks are being held until March 17th by IRS. Untrue. Stimulus checks were already sent out by IRS last Friday. Anything being held is on the recipient side, the bank side. Number two, stimulus checks are being sent out in several ways of electronic disbursements. Also untrue. It was sent out as one big push on Friday. Number three, IRS is sending out the checks on March 17th. Also untrue. IRS has already sent out the checks. So what's going on? What's going on is the recipients of the stimulus checks are coming up with a series of narratives that are confusing viewers, making viewers think that stimulus checks haven't even gone out and that they're waiting for them to land. Untrue. The banks have the stimulus checks. They are waiting to process them for a particular day. Now, let me make something very clear early in this video, when we're only about 8 minutes in, is that countless, thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers of this channel have already gotten their $1,400 stimulus check. They have gotten it whether they are on SSI, some have gotten on SSI, some have gotten it if they're a sole practitioner, some have gotten it if they're a veteran. A lot of viewers of a lot of different walks of life have gotten their stimulus check. Additionally, people have gotten their stimulus check if they are on apps or big bangs, so it's all a matter of a lot of different factors. But the simplest factor that I can explain to you of why you may not have gotten something before someone else is because of the bank you deal with. The people who got the stimulus checks are customers of banks that process things faster. The fastest processors so far have been Chime and Cash App, which processed the stimulus checks on Friday when they went out on Friday. Countless other viewers who bank at commercial banks or credit unions receive the stimulus checks on Saturday. More receive them on Monday. This could be you as well. So now that we understand a little bit more about the receipt of the stimulus check, what is about this March 17th? Are you getting the stimulus check on March 17th? Are you getting it on March 18th? And what about that IRS tracking tool? And what if when should you be concerned that the check is missing? Or when is it not missing? I'll have all those details coming up shortly. But let's cut to the other breaking news about your $14 stimulus check. The other breaking news this evening is that the White House is going on a press tour, literally a press tour. It's called the Help Is Here Roadshow. The White House is going on a roadshow called Help Is Here. And the White House started that tour today. Vice Lady Jill Biden will be touring a New Jersey elementary school. They will also be going to Las Vegas. Biden, Harris, and Mrs. Biden are all touring the country. Where are they going and what are they saying? The president will go Monday to a small business in Delaware County. Well, today he did, and then tomorrow he's going to another place in Pennsylvania. Harris and Biden are going to Atlanta on Friday. There's a reason they're going to Atlanta, and you know the reason. The president's already trying to set up a win for the midterm elections again in Georgia. Why are they doing this? Well, the stops by the Biden administration for this road tour are at businesses, schools, and public sector to educate the American people about what is in the third stimulus package. They're doing this because under a prior presidential term, the Barack Obama administration, Biden watched when Obama passed his recovery plan, and millions of Americans didn't know what was in it. The net result was in the midterm election, Barack Obama lost the Senate and the House. Biden wants to use the momentum of the passage of this bill to build on his party's push and, moreover, to explain to millions of Americans what they're getting. The question is whether the Help Is Here tour helps or doesn't help. Millions of Americans will wonder, where's the FPUC? They'll wonder, where's the hazard pay? They'll wonder, where's the SSI and SSDI? They'll wonder, where's the $2,000 stimulus check? Why is a person going on a tour to brag about something where he didn't deliver exactly what he promised? In fact, this channel reported on Friday that the president has deployed a multi-million-dollar press campaign where commercials will air in Georgia claiming he delivered exactly penny by penny what he promised to deliver in the stimulus package. Jill Biden is going with New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy on a tour of Samuel Smith Elementary School. And then she's going with Education Secretary Miguel Cardona to Connecticut and Pennsylvania public schools as well. VP Harris and her husband will be going to other places, including Las Vegas, to push their statement about the package. And then the transportation secretary will go to UPS facilities in Maryland as well. What's also important to understand is not so much that road tour, but the most significant road tour, which is the Federal Reserve. Yes, you want to hear every single word the Federal Reserve has for you about stimulus. And when is the Federal Reserve speaking about stimulus? Tomorrow. Oh boy, this is big and this is very big. As you know, the Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting is about to kick underway, and it will start as early as March 16th and March 17th, but we may see details of it even earlier than that. The FOMC meeting will have central banks explain their GDP forecasts on future stimulus. This is very big. This is the first conference they're having since the third stimulus package has passed. And following those Tuesday and Wednesday meetings, we will see if interest rates go higher or whether there'll be a push for or push back for stimulus. Now, remember, under forced stimulus, there's a push for reoccurring stimulus checks every month until the end of this year. They're presumably $2,000 a month. Now, let's do the math. 6 months at $2,000 is $12,000. This is singularly more money than FPUC retro from July to December. This is 6 times the amount of money of $2,400 of SSI and SSDI. $12,000 is a lot more than $2,400. And it's a lot more than even hazard pay. Would that push actually work? Most indications suggest it will. The FOMC meeting, however, will discuss the issues of the U.S. Treasury. The U.S. Treasury yields continue to remain calm on Monday initially. It started at 1.613% at 8:45 on Monday in the morning. And the fact that the Treasury yields are calm suggests that the Federal Reserve may not raise rates. Now, understand, if the Federal Reserve raises rates or the 10-year Treasury surges, you are in deep trouble about where stimulus is going for a series of reasons. One, more interest rates or higher 10-year Treasury notes or higher rates from the Federal Reserve means that inflation and growth are very abrupt at the moment, and we need to calm it down. The Federal Reserve's message has been very calm and clear, which is, I'm not concerned about inflation, I'm concerned about unemployment. And currently, this country will remain unemployed until next year, and we need more stimulus. That's the type of messaging you want for forced stimulus, and it remains the messaging of the Federal Reserve and the White House and Janet Yellen and myself. But the bond market thinks itself, and it thinks in its own way. And if it thinks a little bit too aggressively, then the Federal Reserve may have to step in. Bond yields remain the primary risk facing the stock market, says Jim Paulson, chief investment strategist at Lethal. However, they are calm so far this day. Investors will continue to grapple with the anxiety of economic overheating and the Fed tightening that has griped this market in recent weeks, says David Kroskin, Goldman Sachs chief U.S. strategist in a letter obtained by LALATE today. We believe equity valuations should be able to digest a 10-year yield of roughly 2% more without much difficulty. Bond yields remain relatively the risk at hand. Now, that's really interesting. The Goldman representative says that 2% is fine. This is the first person that I have heard say that 2% is fine. Remember, the bond yields were 1 last month, and they went to 1.5, and a few days ago, then they went to 1.64 last week. I told you 1.7 is trouble. But this person says 2%, we're still fine. Don't get worried about rising numbers. That's all really great news. Well, what does this mean about your stimulus? And let me go over more about what's happening in that stimulus. Well, as to your $14 third stimulus check, if you have not received it yet, what can you do to track it? Does that IRS tracking tool work? Does the IRS transcript tool work? Can you request a missing stimulus check from the process called non-filer filing? Do you have to file a tax return? And if you did file a 2020 tax return, what does that mean for you? These are big questions, and guess what? I have all the answers for you right now. But first, here's a commercial break. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement does continue live from Los Angeles and Santa Monica with some new shows. This one included. Evenings LALATE is back on, baby. Every night is evenings LALATE in this time slot at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And yes, early mornings LALATE has returned. The toast is toasted and the butter is buttering before sunrise. That is every morning now at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But here I am, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. I don't want you to miss a minute of what's breaking across the channel. Make sure you subscribe. You want to be part of the community that gets you a lot of money. And throughout the day and throughout tomorrow, you're going to learn how to get big money, and I'm going over some of the details right now. In the stimulus package, there's a lot of money you can get, up to $5,000 to $20,000, and I have all the details for you in a second. But let's first go over those tracking tools. The IRS tracking tool and the IRS transcript tool are two tracking tools that exist. The third tracking tool no longer exists. That was the non-filer filing. If you're looking for it, it doesn't exist anymore. If you want to use it, you can't. If you used it in the past, good. If it worked for you in the past, great. Can you rely upon it again? You can if it worked, but you can't try to use it to fix something as a new problem because it doesn't exist. The fix for new problems is a tax return. Filing a tax return. So let's go to those two instruments from IRS of tracking, the IRS tracking tool and the IRS transcript tool. Both of the instruments don't work. They categorically don't work. They don't work in a series of ways. One, sometimes they don't work because they show no information. And when viewers see no information, they assume there's no stimulus check. No, it's just something that doesn't work. Other times it doesn't work because the date of the transmission confuses viewers and the date is actually wrong. And when viewers see that date, they think that the check has been missing because the date is so many weeks ago or days ago. Net result, the two tools do not work and are not reliable. If you get some benefit out of them, great, that's wonderful. But other than that, if you see something and it doesn't provide you information, do not presume that is a negative. The tools do not work. They haven't worked since summer of last year. And despite thousands of videos on that subject matter, viewers still go to them and freak out when it provides no information, causing them to think there's no stimulus check. Untrue. All right, so what do you do if you want to find where things are? I haven't gone over that much lately, so let me go over it right now. You can't call up IRS and ask them, where is something? It doesn't work. You can't get through to them. Moreover, you can't call up your bank and see something that you can't see. How do I say it this way? If you have online banking access to your bank account, and you see something processing, they see it processing as well. If you don't show something processing, they don't see anything other than what you see. Some viewers have said that they've been able to call up their bank and be told that they don't see a stimulus check coming for them at all. That's because it's not processing, it's not pending, it's not in limbo yet. And the fact that it's not in limbo doesn't mean you're not getting a stimulus check. It means there's no information about its arrival date. Understand what you see in online banking is the same as what your bank sees. The only thing that a bank can tell you that an online portal may not be able to tell you is if you see something processing, they will be able to tell you when it's going to clear better than what a website says. Website will say pending, but it won't say when it's going to clear. A person on the phone will be able to tell you that as well. Finally, there's no way a human person can change things around. These are computers communicating with computers. And the IRS computer is communicating with your bank's computer. There's no way to change that. So what about the other big money in the third stimulus package? Can you get a lot of other money? You certainly can. Let me go over all those details right now. You can get FPUC to September 6th, $300 a week. You can get UI, PUA, and PUC also to September 6th. They're all extended. There's also a $10,200 tax-free credit for your first $10,200 of unemployment you incurred in the year 2020 if you made less than $150,000 of income. If you want to fix this, you need to file an amended tax return. COBRA is now cheaper. COBRA payments will be covered from the U.S. government from April 1st to September 30th. After that, they'll be no more than 8.5% of your adjusted gross income. And then there's the child care tax credit. There's the child care credit and the child care tax credit. Those are two different instruments. Let me go over the child care credit. That is $3,600 and $3,000 in addition to their stimulus check. They are paid starting in the month of July. So a child 5 to newborn, $300 a month starting in the month of July. A child 17 to 6, $250 a month starting in the month of July. This is for anyone whose individual income is less than $75,000 or married couple whose income is less than $150,000. It's an automatic payment and comes from IRS, provided IRS knows the child exists and knows that the child is with you. Then there's a child care tax credit, and that is $5,000 for every child or $8,000 for 2 or more child. It's based upon a 50% child care deduction up to age 13. This is something that appears on a tax return. It's not automatic. Hazard pay. Hazard pay is in the third stimulus package as well. Not by name, but by principle. Its essential workers will get $1,502 if they worked in the pandemic, made less than $25,000, are age 19 or older, and they made less than $25,000. Then there's money for rental assistance, $27 billion for housing, for low-income, middle class, and also for homeless. Financial hardship indirectly is enough to qualify for this money. Then there's money for property owners, including mortgage payments and also utility bills and other housing costs. There's support for restaurants with the $25 billion Restaurant Revitalization Fund. And then there's money as well for other groups. As to the restaurants, it's calculated by subtracting 2020 revenue from 2019 revenue. It will be done at SBA.gov, the application. It is yet to go live. It is a grant, meaning it is free money. Then there is money for businesses. Businesses who are impacted by the pandemic with a loss of between 30 to 50% will get an EIDL grant of exactly $5,000. The other eligibility criterion, less than 10 employees. They do not have to be in a low-income community, and there is a preference for businesses that are run by women. That application process will go live any moment at SBA.gov, but as reported on this channel, will run out of funds likely within 3 days after going live. And then what else is going on? Well, these 10-year treasuries remain a big issue for the White House and the Federal Reserve. Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve will speak about this 10-year treasury and whether it needs to do something about it. But the stocks making move today and likely to make moves tomorrow were the following. Carnival made news after its CEO Arnold Donald told the Financial Times that he sees 2 more years of difficult trading, 2 more difficult years of trouble for the cruise industry. AMC is making news because they will be reopening movie theaters in Los Angeles, starting with 2 locations Monday. And then it hopes to have all 56 locations open shortly, with 23 theaters in Los Angeles on Friday. Wow, that's a fast move. Ford is making news because it is recalling 2.9 million vehicles to check for airbag situations. And this will begin with notifications to owners starting April 1st. Dollar General is making news. The popular stock DG is moved from upgraded to overweight from neutral by Atlas Equities on belief that reopening is a big play for them. AstraZeneca becomes the latest country, has now been approved for, has now had its use suspended by Ireland following reports of blood clots in some patients in a Norway report. Finally, United Airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and Southwest are gaining on news that screenings at airport levels are now at 1-year highs. Southwest passengers say demand is improving. DraftKings continues to grow as well. Finally, your favorite toy business is returning. Toys R Us is back, baby. Oh my goodness. Toys R Us will return back, coming from the brink of bankruptcy with a new owner. Stores will open by the end of this year. Those stores will be across the country. Very exciting news. Do you think they'll have some purple toys? Get that hazard pay ready, maybe, folks. I don't know. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for making Evenings LATE a big hit last night. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast as well. I'm back with you later tonight on Hazard Pay at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That is a live chat tape show, so join me for the Chat Fest Chat-orama. And there's a lot of loving going on in that chat room. So join me. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And join me tomorrow morning on Early Mornings LATE as well. Stay informed, stay focused, and have a great afternoon or evening, and stay with LATE for more.